All right, guys, let's talk about what are quickly becoming my two least favorite commentators. Now, there was a time when I loved both these guys. I used to love Bill Maher back in the day when he was a big Bernie supporter and stuff. I liked him. But I also used to love Stephen A. Smith when, I still think he's fun to watch when he talks about sports, even though he's probably wrong most of the time, even when talking sports. But he's an entertaining guy to watch. But now, I despise these guys with a burning passion. As you're about to see here, they are routinely sucking rancid ass for us. So let's start with Bill Maher. Here he is. He's going to take a shot at Zoran and do some false equivalence between Democrats and Republicans. Take a look.
It seems to me that there are two pillars that this country is founded on. One is democracy, and one is capitalism, free markets.
There are two pillars this country's founded on, democracy and capitalism. Except we weren't really a democracy, and we weren't really capitalist. What are you talking about? How is it democracy when it was only old white men could own property, and there was slavery all throughout the South, and it was like an agrarian feudal type society? You just made that up. Oh yeah, democracy and capitalism. Sure, I guess that's what this country's founded on. What?
One party wants to get rid of one, and the other party wants to get rid of the other. Right? The Republicans are not that. Democracy is just not number one on their list. It just isn't. It isn't. It's behind Christianity and a few other things. And the Democrats.
Yeah, that's the issue with the Democrats, is that the party as such is anti-capitalist. Jesus Christ, bro. I wish. Are you kidding me? This is still a party that takes a tremendous amount of money from, Wall Street and the military-industrial complex and corporations and, is in favor of small business tax cuts and all shit like that. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? With the number of democratic socialists that we have in Congress is what? Fewer than maybe 15? Fewer than 15, right? Meanwhile, if you poll Democrats, it's like, 70% or something that have a positive view of democratic socialism? And so, it's not even representative of the base. Again, I wish, but that's not the case. All right, let's keep going.
And the Democrats, I read these, 74% are for democratic socialism.
Yeah, that's what Bernie says his ideology is. So when people hear democratic socialism, what they think is universal health care, free college, a living wage, unions, paid vacation time by law. That's what people think about. So they're going to have that positive association when the most popular senator in the country is Bernie Sanders. He calls himself a democratic socialist. Now, by the way, to get a little technical, he actually is more of a social democrat than a democratic socialist. There's a little bit of a difference there, but people think social democracy when they hear democratic socialist. And so, of course, they're going to like it.
16% favor capitalism. Is this going to be a country that I don't recognize in 5 to 10 years if we don't have these two pillars?
Yeah, the ancient multi-millionaire on HBO who's had a show since he was fucking 30 years old, and he's now, 112? Turns out that guy loves capitalism. What a shocker. Isn't too concerned with the fact that the American dream has completely and utterly collapsed, that people have a ridiculous amount of student loan debt and credit card debt, and nobody can afford a fucking house anymore. Doesn't care about any of that because he's doing swell.
If we don't, where are the Democrats going with this? If Mondami is the...
Mondami. What is it with old white guys not being able to say Mamdani? Fucking Cuomo can't say it right. Bill Maher can't say it right. Mamdani.
Face of the Democrats on the East Coast, and Katie Porter is the face on the West Coast. I don't know if that's great politically for that party. It seems to me that
I love the fucking concern trolling, right? Bill, just say it. You don't like Zoran. Just say it. The idea of what would this mean for the future of the party? And will this make us less viable? The motherfucker crushed in his election. He crushed. He did better than anybody thought, period. He's a fucking superstar. Let's call it what it is. So don't fucking concern troll. Just say, hey, I don't like him. And the reason you don't like him is because maybe he would raise your taxes a little too much, Bill, in your opinion. And maybe he's a little too anti-Israel for your taste. Just say it. But I hate the fucking concern trolling of no. America won't like this. America will reject this. No, you will, because you're fucking super rich and a Zionist. Outside of those things, You would fucking love him. You should love him. Old Bill Maher would love him. 2015 Bill Maher would love him. The Bill Maher who supported Bernie would love him, or certainly, at the very least, tolerate him, right? But now it's like, oh, this is like, the Trump of the left type stuff. It's like, come on, man. Give me a fucking break. And also, in today's day and age, any sort of false equivalence bullshit drives me crazy. And that's what he's doing here. Oh, Republicans are against one pillar of the country, Democrats are against the other, and here I am in the middle, being so intelligent, Bill Maher, that's me. And it's like, no, fuck you, bro, with your self-suck-off session. Like, Zoran is based, and you're fucking ancient, okay? All right, but I'm not done, so now let's go to Stephen A. Smith. First, he talks Newsom.
I'm not down with Gavin Newsom because my issue with Gavin Newsom is like, listen, you look great in those blue suits. You're very articulate, very smart, very quick with it. I love how you've been trolling Trump because I thought that was necessary, in order to compete with Trump. But I can't ignore the fact that you're number one in unemployment, number one in homelessness and poverty and all of this other stuff and the price of the affordability issues in California. I can't ignore all of that. I can't ignore the fact that there's no way I can see you winning an election with some of the things that have been happening in the state of California.
Literally the same day that Newsom did a press conference and talked about how we now have $11 insulin because California produced their own insulin, which is a huge deal. Because insulin, the average price of insulin is like $300, which people can't fucking afford. So California makes their own insulin. It will cost $11 a pop. Huge success. And it's that day that Stephen A. Smith chooses to do this stupid fucking rant. It's that day. It's also the fucking warmed over milquetoast Republican talking points where they got their list of shit. California is bad because of reasons X, Y, and Z. Meanwhile, none of them will ever tell you the other side of the coin. None of them will ever tell you, the fact that California on its own is like the fourth biggest economy in the world, that Newsom banned book bans because Republicans were banning books across the country, so he came out swinging hard for free speech and the First Amendment and protecting the Constitution. He schooled DeSantis in that debate. He signed a bill for California to make their own insulin like we talked about. He stopped maternity wards from closing. He gave doxing victims the right to sue. He banned medical debt from credit reports. He did sectoral bargaining for all fast food workers, so working class people's wages went up. I got plenty of criticisms of him too, but all the AIPAC stuff, you saw the clip of him fucking basically like downplaying the AIPAC issue and among other things. I got plenty of issues. He vetoed universal health care bill, for example. But the difference is, when you watch this show, I'm going to give you the total picture. When you watch fucking Stephen A. Smith, it's just reheated right-wing talking points that are totally misleading. Like, the number of times negative things about Gavin Newsom are put out there versus negative stuff about Trump, and there's way more negative stuff about Trump, but he fucking plays footsie with the right. That's what he does. More. So here he is doing the same old tap dance. Here's Stephen A. Smith, and he's going to talk about Zoran just like Bill.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me be very, very clear. If the Democratic Party becomes the likes of Zoran Mamdani, who, by the way, I like, not trying to throw any shade on him or anything like that, but if the Democratic Party becomes him, you have no chance. You have no chance on a national basis in terms of the presidency. In Senate seats in the House, you have no chance. You have no chance. I want to be very, very clear about that. You might have a Democratic Socialist sprinkled here and there, but that ain't what America is. America's about capitalism. America's about dollars and cents. America's about an economy, a flourishing economy. Okay? And you know what it's not about? Free stuff. Somebody got to say it, so I'm going to say it. Somebody got to say it, so I'm going to say it.
So would you look at that? Another multimillionaire on TV, super triggered and upset because Zoran wants to help out the working class. He wants to raise taxes on Stephen A. Smith. That's what he wants to do. And he wants to help out the working class. And he's trying to mask that as if, who, me? Oh, I'm just talking for the silent majority here. I'm not a rich guy giving you my rich guy opinion. Dude, you're fooling nobody. You are fooling nobody. And all this shit about, Democrats got no chance. First of all, everybody predicted, and the polls showed, it was going to be tight, but Zoran would probably eke out the win. Instead, Zoran won in the first round in ranked choice voting. Only one of 32 polls had him winning the first round. His working class support was dramatically underestimated. So he's a Muslim, immigrant, democratic socialist. And he blew away the competition. And yes, he ran on freeze the rent, build affordable housing, crack down on bad landlords, city-owned grocery stores, free buses, free childcare. He ran on no more diet MAGA bullshit. He ran on end the fucking genocide. Netanyahu should be arrested. He can never step foot in New York City because I'll have him arrested if he comes here. What if he is the future? What if that is the ideology? That is the path forward. Now, he happens to be incredibly charismatic as well, which is a huge part of his appeal. Don't get it twisted. But somebody who's that charismatic and has these left-wing politics, that's the future, Stephen A. And you just don't know that. Because you're really fucking rich and you're in your own bubble. And here, I got to read this tweet for you because this is a banger. As Sabby Sab says, Stephen A. Smith has a net worth of $85 million, yet he's upset New Yorkers want a rent freeze, affordable groceries, and free public transit. Imagine bragging about capitalism when people have GoFundMe accounts for groceries. Yeah, a guy like Stephen A. Smith does not understand the struggle of regular people. A guy like Stephen A. Smith does not know what it's like to go to the grocery store and have to check the price of everything because inflation is out of fucking control. Beef up 40%, coffee up 40%, most things up double digits, 10% or more. Unemployment going up. The fucking trade war, which is wreaking absolute havoc. Hundreds of thousands of factory jobs getting fucking axed and shipped overseas or just eliminated completely. And Stephen A. Smith is saying, oh, this country's not about free stuff. What if it is? What if it is? I mean, shit, you can call Medicare free stuff for old people, free healthcare for old people. This country is about Medicare, isn't it? You can call Social Security free stuff for old people because it's a check that goes to old people. That is what this country's about, isn't it? Shouldn't it be about that? Shouldn't it be about that? We have, if you go to elementary school or middle school or high school, you go for free. You go for free. Shouldn't that be part of this country? Isn't that part of this country? But no, the rich guy has to berate people about, oh, you got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and you got to bust your ass and make your own money. That's basically the gist of what he's saying, right? And it's like, dude, let me explain something to you. You babble about sports for a living. The fact that you have 85 million, you should be fucking thanking your lucky stars. And the reality of the situation is we should fucking do a wealth tax and tax a shitload of that money so we can give people healthcare and education and paid vacation time by law and eliminate medical debt and eliminate student loan debt. Like, the fact that you live in a system where you could babble about sports and make that much money, you should be humble and you should realize, man, I want to make sure the single mother can live and can survive and doesn't have to worry about fucking being homeless. Like, that's how you should be thinking, but you're not because you're selfish. Because you're selfish. So Bill Maher and fucking Stephen A. Smith, I just need people to understand they represent a very particular worldview. And that worldview is like elitist rich guy who wants to pretend like he's left-leaning, but when push comes to shove, is definitely not. And by the way, they also, both Maher and Stephen A. have been doing, playing footsies with MAGA for a while now, because they feel like, oh, that's sort of what was hot. That's sort of what was popular. So I got to hop on that bandwagon a little bit. They are not ruthless, independent thinkers. They're not zigging when the country is zagging. They're trying to hop on what they thought the bandwagon was. And, they get MAGA praise for that. But guess what? That's temporary. That shit goes away. That exposes you as the phony that you are. And so they might think they're making a good play, but if anything, it's a good short-term play. In the long term, people are going to be looking at you like, how the fuck did you ever go along with that nonsense? No, the future is Zoran. That's a fact. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.